Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Sonny. That really resonated with me. And some of the questions that are coming up about, once we're involved in activity and your idea to always go back to being aware and present. So if we're doing tasks like, say, washing the car or something, can we be aware of self while we're actually physically doing things and living our lives? And also, what about when we're planning, like, what I have to do tomorrow? Because we have to use our mind for some of that, washing the car, what I got to get this or that, and then also planning. So, can we be fully, I know we are fully ourselves at all times, but can we feel it more while we're being the person? So, if you could help with that.
Well, firstly, other
Yeah.
than just questioning, is it possible? You should try, right? Because
Yeah.
then you
Right.
start to see,
I am.
that you start to
Yeah.
see that it is totally possible. And I would say,
Okay.
especially like those types of tasks, like washing the car,
Yeah.
uh, it is completely doable for even the beginner.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
actually, when you actually start practicing during those times, you start to see that all those movements are automatic.
Huh.
It's just happening.
Mm.
You're and
Okay.
actually even when you're not spiritually practicing and you're watching the car, you may
Mhm.
be thinking about
Yeah.
something completely different and you have watched the car, all of a sudden you're like, "Oh my God, that already went by." So see that
Right.
like this very stern feeling of I am the doer of these things is not fully accurate. Even if we don't accept to the like fullest that hey, I'm not the doer of anything, to some degree we have to accept that like you're not controlling all these minute movements, especially for routine tasks like driving or like, when, let's say, when you are like bathing or when you are cooking or these types of things, like you can see that, you know, you may not even notice all of a sudden it's happened and you've done it. And it's not like I didn't think of all of these things
Absolutely.
to do them. It just happens.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
actually the nature of all activity. So I would say for everyone to like at least start in those moments. Yes, it is absolutely possible. And we have to see that as we practice, right?
Right.
Now, when it comes to more subtler mental processes where
Yeah.
I feel like, oh, I'm planning to do things,
Yeah.
keep it simple. That's what as we were, as Bindu and I were talking earlier, like when you are doing something like that, like, oh, you really feel like I'm the thinker and I'm planning to do something later.
Hmm.
In the midst of your planning, just have a few moments of total, just being and not acknowledging your existence. And then you once again start thinking about what to do.
Okay. Yeah.
I, I just feel like at the moment, if we just keep it that simple, gradually it
Hmm.
becomes clear. It starts to become clear that even the thinking, I'm not the doer of. Even
I
thinking
see.
is appearing and passing, just like those experiences where, you weren't doing anything. Or, one simple practice is also is like
Hmm.
at the end of the day,
Yeah.
just take an account of all the things that happened today. All the things you thought, you felt like, oh, I was doer of all of these things. But notice how it's just like the whole day is just full of
Hmm.
experiences that come and go. Even all the bodily and mental activities that were happening, it just were appearing and passing. All of them came and went, and now you're here. Like little by little through
Yeah.
observation, let this feeling of doership over bodily activity and mental activity become weaker. See that it appears to be true that you are the doer of these things, but it's not really true.
So the clarity of our supposed thinking and doing becomes more aligned with self as we practice. Is that
The
because I feel
clarity
like,
of your doing and thinking becoming aligned with the self, meaning,
well, like I don't, because I've been meditating, doing the practice for 6 months or so, I don't worry about the future and I plan less.
mm, mm,
I
mm.
accept things will work out. I have that, I'm more relaxed about it. And I'm just sort of wondering, like, if we're not doing the mind, if we're more aligned with self or aware of self, does it get less, it seems like it gets less crazy and less
Yeah.
frenetic.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, these are the subtle
Yes.
virtues that will begin to arise in the mind. And
Hmm.
because like when we begin the practice, w- we are established in the very surface layers of the mind and we feel we are there. That's our
Yeah.
entire sense of self. Gradually through the
Hmm.
practice, your sense of self starts to go subtler and subtler, the deeper, deeper layers of mind, ultimately prior to it. But yeah, the mind begins to operate from a much subtler place. And
That's
yes,
what I'm getting at. Yeah,
mhm,
that's what I feel. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Good.
So that's where you see that actually the practice doesn't at all affect the operations of the body mind world. It, everything is actually it is just operating from a much subtler place and a much clearer understanding of life, of the way it actually
Hmm.
is. This whole practice is really learning to see life as it is, as opposed to how we believe it to be. And then from that belief, you are operating.
Right. All
So,
ego. Yeah. How can I get this and what, avoid that and everything. Okay.
and also just strong convictions of who I am, what
Yeah.
life is, how things really are. But these are all ideas. So, yeah, we can say that everything starts to operate from a much more truthful place. Basically, the conceptions of the mind and the activities of the body, they begin to reflect a clearer understanding of life. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's very helpful about doing tasks. Try to be less in the mind and more in the task and presence, like you say. Be who you as you
Presence,
are and
the
being aware.
unchanging
Yeah.
presence available at any given moment. Even
Right.
in the midst of planning, just have a few moments where you drop all planning and just acknowledge I am. And
That's
sometimes
great.
you may even be in the midst of planning, and you in the midst of it all, you can acknowledge I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let that
Right.
sun
Yeah.
shine more and more brightly.
Very good. Thank you. It's very
Thank you.
helpful.